Yeah, he's not the greatest quarterback in the league.
Nobody here saying that.
And he has played poorly in big games and big spots.
And he played poor down the stretch.
Yeah, he's done that. But you can't factor that all in.
You have to look at the body of work.
Yeah.
But what happens if Kirk really didn't counter since their last offer?
I believe he didn't.
So why are we just blaming the front office? If they did their part, they put a counter out.
Here's why they didn't offer.
And Kirk's
counter.
like,
because they showed.
Because the offer
it wasn't a real offer.
The offer is so laughable that they looked at it and said, well, you can't negotiate with these people.
They knew he would not.
There was a non-starter. Have you ever heard of a non-starter? That was a non-starter.
They knew he wouldn't sign that. They knew it.
Of course they knew. So they lowballed him, and Mike McCarthy should have came back and said, no, we want $20 million more.
McCartney.
Because, as Schefter pointed out, they knew the Redskins would out him.
He doesn't want to sign the deal. It's obvious. The Redskins are getting all the blame today, and Kirk doesn't want to sign the deal.
No.
He had no
if they gave him prime, the real deal, you know what the real deal is today? $80 million guaranteed.
Okay, so we want
and if they gave him that, no injury caveat crap, $80 million guaranteed, some ridiculous, it's in the luck league. If they gave him that, then I think he would sign.
Maybe. Then it's a big maybe. It's speculative.
I'm just going to talk over everybody. They gave that deal May 2nd. Okay? Carr signed that deal when?
In June.
Okay, so all of a sudden
the market changed.
The market changed in a month, in 2 weeks.
Right.
Okay, so why
the Redskins could have come back to McCartney and Cousins and said, all right, Carr's deal supersedes what we offer. Here's our next offer. Do that?
There's react. It's entirely speculative, but I agree with
you. Might be right.
It's a two-way street.
You might be right. He might not want to sign the deal. He might not want to play here. That's
I don't
fine.
think he wants to particularly.
It just looks worse for Bruce Allen and Snyder to come out with
trash him.
Those numbers.
Oh, that's a joke. That is a joke.
Of course it's a joke. But here's all my point. And if you disagree, then fine. But I think money cures most relationship issues, right? So if you give him $85 million, whatever it is, some absurd number you don't want to, even though Kirk doesn't really want to do it, the money's too absurd. He's not going to turn it down. You had to make them. You had to do it. You had
That's
to pull
your guess.
Because most times that works, and I think it would work in this time too. But they knew all along the Redskins would never come correct with the offer. They knew it.
There have been very heated negotiations between top QBs the last few years. Kurt Warner, nicest guy ever, almost left the Cardinals. He hated them because he thought they were lowballing him. They worked it out. Russell Wilson, same thing. Nobody thought he'd ever leave. They had heated discussions. They finally worked it out.
Almost every negotiation gets that way.
They're better front offices than the Redskins.
Agent called back.
They're better front offices. They're much better run.
It goes both ways.
So why wouldn't the agent call back after the Carr deal and say this is the new standard? He never called back.
So you're going to take Mike. You're just going to take the Redskins with a track record of dysfunction and horrible decisions and treating people poorly and suing fans and suing journalists.
What are you guys doing?
You're going to side on that versus Kirk Cousins, who's done nothing, literally nothing.
You know what you guys are, and
You're going to side with that camp?
We're worker ants. Why are you siding with a multi-billionaire? You guys are worker drones, just like us.
And I don't think the Redskins were lying. I think that he didn't call back.
Because the offer was an
insult.
Because they lowballed him. They gave him no incentive to sign it. After the 3rd years, J.P. Finley points out, in his prime years, as the cap keeps going up and up and up, Kirk's salary's going down. The offer was dreadful.
Well, that happens in a lot of those deals because they front load them with big bonuses.
Not when you're in your prime. It just it goes down when you're Jason Worth, maybe.
When you bought your house, when you sent your offer out, did you send it for over asking price?
I'm glad that McCartney and Cousins didn't respond because they knew it was a terrible offer. They're not
just called a non-starter. It's called a non-starter. Their offer was a non-starter.
Or it's possible that even if it was a starter, they don't return the calls.
It is possible. I find it unlikely. If they came correct with like an Otto Porter deal, he would sign it.
I think you can easily say...
Most people do.
Don't know whether it's correct or not.
Most people sign for the most money.
I don't know whether it's correct or not, but I think you can easily say what happened, the result, fits a narrative of a guy who never wanted to sign long-term with the Redskins.
I don't think anybody would have signed that $53 million deal.
No, but
I bet you Brian Hoyer would have signed it if he was in Kirk's position.
But some people would have called back and countered.
Right. Some people might have called back and said, if you juice that up another $5 million here and juice this up with another year there.
Because way more than that.
Because Kirk believes in himself, and he knows that if he plays well, he's going to get the monster deal, and whether it's the Redskins or 49ers.
You know what?
He doesn't care about that.
You know what I hope
the money.
McCartney did? I know he didn't because he's a Christian guy just like Kirk. I hope he looked at that offer and called back and said, go F yourselves, Redskins.
Well,
we're never signing with you ever.
For Christian men, they sound very greedy.
Drabby.
You're a worker ant. I can't believe you're taking this stance.
Are they greedy or are they in a great position and they're using their leverage like everyone should do?
Maybe a little of both.
Possibly.
I think they're cashing in.
But you may be right, Drab. He may just, no matter what the number was, he may just want to go play for Shanny or McVay. That's a possibility.
He does, but I think he can be paid.
But you got to also remember, he knows that even if he doesn't even put the call back to the Redskins and counter, he knows he's getting minimum, if they want him, 28.8. If they don't want him to negotiate with any other team, he's getting 34.5.
He's got a nice safety net.